Let's go live to the Queensland Premier David Crisafulli.
Wind, rainfall and flooding. What's critical for people to understand across the large scale that we're dealing with, it's a large area and a large population, and it's important that we update people on what is occurring. You will experience at least one of those key 4 challenges: waves, wind, rainfall and or flooding. And it's important that Queenslanders prepare for that. I want to address the cyclone intensity. It remains as a Category 2. And obviously we have seen the delay in the system heading towards the coast. Literally in the last few minutes we've been updated that that could now push into Saturday morning. So if we just unpack where we've been, we overnight saw the system spin around on itself and then it has resumed its journey into the coast. So exactly where it will hit and when still remains unknown, but all of the modelling continues to show it is coming towards the coast, albeit it has pushed into the early hours of Saturday morning just in the last few minutes. With every hour that approaches, your window to get prepared closes, but you still do have time. And it's important, if you are hearing these messages for the first time, that you do take it seriously, as are we. But I assure you the preparations are in place, and if you do your bit, you will get through this. We're asking Queenslanders to be aware of 2 types of flooding, and as the cyclone approaches the coast, I want to address both of those. The first is storm tide flooding. That's the importance that we explain why that is so pivotal. If the system crosses the coast, particularly on a high tide, there is the real risk of inundation in those storm tide areas. Now, on our website, disaster.qld.gov.au, all of the local governments have what they call their dashboard, and if you click on your local government, there are maps that show different scenarios, and if you are in one of those storm tide areas. If that is the case, you need to make a plan, and it is important that you do have a plan in place to deal with that. Now, I'll get onto that in a moment, but I just want to restate that website address. It's so disaster.qld.gov.au. The second flooding is flash flooding and river flooding, and again, councils do a lot of work in the mapping on that. Now, many Queenslanders in the southeast are aware of this. They have experience in this and have handled it very well over the years. It is important that you do that and check that message across the platform. Know your plan. It is important that you develop your plan now if you are in one of these zones. There are 25 refuge locations open at the moment across all of those councils. I just want to be clear, they are not ideal places to have to spend the night. Ideally, if you are in one of those zones and you choose to go, the best place is with friends or family. If you have the means and you can go to a motel, but if you don't have that means, if those options aren't available to you, those evacuation centres are there for you to get you out of harm's way, and that information is on that website. For people with this information, I just have to make the following point. If you are not in one of these zones, and that is the vast majority of Queenslanders, the safest place for you is in your home. And I want Queenslanders to understand that every little bit of preparation you do now will make a world of difference as the system approaches and crosses the coast. It's the little decisions and the little actions you take today that make a world of difference. Do another check around your yard, have a look if there are loose items which could become a projectile. If you do have a window to remove anything that could be of danger, please do so. Have a look inside, get your valuable items together. If you do have to leave, it's imperative that you've got your passport and your driver's licence and any of those key identification means, because that helps you get back on your feet after an event. Do you have bottled water and food? They are the little things that make a world of difference. My message to Queenslanders today is that we will continue in every way, shape and form to explain the system as it comes and as things change, and the when and where will continue to remain unknown. As we get that information, we will give it to you. The area at the moment is still between the Sunshine Coast and the Gold Coast. That zone will tighten as it gets close. I do want Queenslanders to be mindful that the southern part of that system will provide many challenges, But right across that area, please do your preparations now. We have a plan in place, and we're asking you to have a plan in place as well. And if you do, you will get through this event. History has shown that, and we have seen how well Queenslanders at the other end of the state have handled these events over the years. And whilst it is rare, they have occurred in the southeast as well. And Queensland is a resilient state. And I have every faith that people can handle this event, and we will continue to provide the information to you.